What's up, everybody? Welcome to the very first episode of Cooking in the Kitchen with Wild Squash. I am your host, Wild Squash, and today we are making one of my favorite alliterative classics, spaghetti squash shrimp scampi. First and most important ingredient in our spaghetti squash shrimp scampi is spaghetti squash. Let's cook. So to start cutting your spaghetti squash, the first thing you're going to do is cut off both of these ends. Get a big sharp knife because this is difficult even with the biggest and sharpest of knives. Mine is fire though. Alright, one side gone. Side two. And you can do this. Alright, after you have removed the sides, you're going to cut this guy right in half. Alright, your next step is going to be to spoon out all this mushy goop. Get your favorite spoon for this. Spoon me baby, spoon me baby, spoon me baby. You know, when I was in first grade, we carved pumpkins at my elementary school, and I remember they had us put our hands in the middle of the pumpkin and pull out all this goopy slop and the seeds. I look like I'm about to hurl. It was probably one of the most disgusting things I have ever experienced in my young adult life. Alright, once your squash is fully de-seeded and out of goop, we're going to put it on a baking rack. An oven rack? Alright, you're going to get yourself some nice high quality olive oil. I go with 365 Whole Foods brand because I work there, so I get a sweet discount. And yeah, Mediterranean blend. It's for all your Mediterranean diet needs. Just get that all over there. Alright, now we're just going to get right in there with our hands and lube this bad boy up. Oh yeah. Making all sorts of nice sounds. Just don't be afraid to really get in there with your olive oil. It's the lube of the cooking world. Now that our squash is properly oiled, we're gonna season this. Alright, you don't need much for this seasoning. All you're gonna do is a little bit of kosher salt, a little bit of black pepper, and a little bit of oregano. Black pepper. Black pepper grinder takes forever. It doesn't seem to be on his last legs. I mean, there's still plenty of black pepper in there. I don't know what's up with this. And you remember you want to season liberally because it's a big squash. There's a lot of squash that needs to get hit by the seasoning. And finally, oregano. Now that our squash is all seasoned up, we're going to turn these bad boys face down. And then we're going to put them in an oven set to 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 35 to 40 minutes, which will give us plenty of time to prep the rest of the dish. Alright, so next up, we're going to deal with our shrimp. Now, I am a Charleston, South Carolina boy, so being in Nashville, Tennessee, as I am right now, it is a little tough to find seafood that I can bear, but luckily working at Whole Foods, I can get some pretty good stuff. But we weren't near Whole Foods today, so we went for Publix, which is always a good next bet. Never go to Kroger. Kroger's not cool. So, you're going to want shell-on shrimp, because you got to peel it yourself. Come on, do something. This already seems somewhat peeled, though, or mangled. Maybe Publix wasn't the best idea today. But anyway, you're going to get in there, peel the legs off at the beginning, and then just pop that tail right off. I don't understand why people serve dishes with shrimp tails on. You can't eat it. It doesn't make any sense to me. There's no way to make it edible. Just take it off when you're cooking it. It doesn't make sense. Maybe someone explain it to me. Alright, one down, about 50 shrimp to go. I also forgot to mention, shrimp often have a little poop track in them that you're going to want to take out. If we can get a close-up up here, I'll show you. So as you can see, they already butterflied and cut the little poop track out of this at Publix, which also made it easier to peel. But it's got this little guy in here that I'm not super stoked about, so we're going to take that out. All you're going to do is take a paring knife, jab it in there. See that little guy? Boop. Just take that little poop out. So while I'm here literally just peeling the shit streams out of shrimp, I thought I'd tell you a little bit about myself. I'm Wild Squash. I've got new music coming out. I decided to start this cooking show. It's like a cross-promotion thing between my music and my love of cooking. The next song coming out is going to be called Sheryl Crow. It's a really good song. The chorus features a line that was written and sent to me by my buddy John Hook, blasting Sheryl Crow on Skid Row, and I went with it from there. Jump forward to the future, and here we are with our peeled shrimp. Look at those. Now, don't those just look underwhelming? Publix did not necessarily serve me right this time. Not the best looking shrimp I've ever seen, but it's okay, because we're going to make it into something delicious. Alright, next step is we're going to finish our prep. We're going to cut our tomatoes, we're going to smash our garlic, and we're going to chop up our parsley and cut a lemon in half. And that's all you need. And then we got this incredible meal. It's going to come together. It's going to be amazing. So, we got Wild Wonder gourmet medley of tomatoes. You can just get the cherry tomatoes if you want. They're a little cheaper. I like to splurge for the extra. I like the pretty colors. I think they're nice. Huh?
Wild.
Wow, yeah, Wild Wonders. Wild Wonders. Wild Squash. You're just going to want to cut your tomatoes in half. No big deal. Once the tomatoes are chopped, you're going to want to go ahead and season them with just a little bit of salt and pepper. So when you season your tomatoes early like that, it actually starts a curing process that helps amplify the flavor. Is this true? I don't know. It sounds like it could be true. I feel like I heard that somewhere. Next up, we're just going to cut our lemon in half and then cut those halves into about 3 wedges, very usable sizes. Next up, garlic. Everything is better with garlic. I put an enormous amount of garlic in everything I cook. But don't be scared. You'll like it. Alright, about 5 cloves should do it. Look, I never claimed to be the best with knife skills. Just before y'all judge me, I'd make the chops, you know, I don't know what else to tell you. But after your garlic is nice and thinly minced, you're going to put it in this nice little ramekin. And if you don't have a nice little ramekin, that's okay. Alright, last step of our prep work. We're just going to chop up some fresh parsley. Just grab you a big old handful. Stems and all, doesn't matter. It all tastes like parsley. This should be enough. This looks good. So when you're cutting herbs like parsley, you just want to kind of bunch them up in your hand, like so, and give them a quick dice over. Make sure not to cut your fingers. Oh, it's scary. Alright, so that should be enough fresh parsley. The spaghetti squash are about ready to come out of the oven. It's time to cook our shrimp.
Steamy eyes. I'm steaming up.
Alright, well as you can see, our squash is actually perfectly cooked. We're going to let that cool out for about 10 minutes because it just came out of a ripping hot oven. And while it cools, our shrimp are going to get cooked. Alright, we're going to use about 1 tablespoon of butter and 1 tablespoon of olive oil to cook our shrimp in. Alright, the shrimp are on. They're going to cook really quickly because they're really small. They only need about 1.5–2 minutes per side. So they're in now. We're going to season them with a little bit of salt, pepper, and crushed red pepper. Alright, you can see when they start to cook, they curl up a little bit. Why is this? I don't know. Now that our shrimp are just about done cooking, we're gonna add our tomatoes and our garlic to the party.
What you do? What you do? Where you at?
Where you at? Y'all, I wish you could smell the smells that are emanating from this kitchen right now. Parsley. Look at how colorful that is. And to top it off, a couple skooshes of lemon juice. Hold your hand below it so you don't get seeds in it. I already messed up though. I think I already lost a seed in there. I like mine a little lemony, so probably 1.5 slices. And then we'll get another little toss on there. Alright, final step, make spaghetti out of the spaghetti squash. To do that, use a fork. Alright, final step, plate up. You're gonna make a little bed of spaghetti squash. Look at that. And you're gonna top it with some of our shrimp, tomato, garlic, lemon, parsley mixture and some of the juices. Alright, last step, garnish with just a little bit of that fresh parsley. Now, doesn't that look gorgeous? Alright, so my buddy Alex has been kind enough to lend his kitchen to me and also film me in all my exciting squash tirades, so I think he deserves a bowl of squash. Maybe he can see how he did. Ooh, baby!
Here we go. Let's dig in.
Also, just so everyone knows, Alex isn't a big vegetable guy, so it's huge if he likes this.
Cheers.
Cheers, baby. Get you a bite with a little everything.
Oh yeah, you
A
know
little
it.
shrimp, a little
Tomato.
tomato.
Look at that.
Oh yeah, baby. Goddamn.
Oh, that's delicious.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, it was good today.
Ooh.
It's got a spicy kick. A little crushed red pepper, it sneaks up on you. Alright everybody, we did it. You learned a really easy dish to make. It can be tweaked 1,001 different ways. Thank you so much for tuning in. Cheryl Crow is coming out next week. More episodes of Cooking in the Kitchen with Wild Squash and more music from Wild Squash are on the way. Make sure you follow me on these social media platforms, on your favorite music streaming services. Everybody, have a good day. Be blessed. Thank you. Once the tomatoes are chopped, you're going to want to head and go ahead.
You got it.
Serious face. Once the
Okay, you got it.
Alright. Once the tomatoes are chopped, you're going to want to go ahead. Alright, this is the last time. I got it.